Hello there, and a huge welcome. My name's Gina Gardner, and I have the absolute privilege today of talking to Mitzi Perdue and to Mark Victor Hansen. Mitzi has written the biography of Mark. It's called Relentless. I'd really love to know, what made you decide that you wanted to write a biography of Mark?
I wanted to do it because it seems at this time in world history, there are an awful lot of people who are hurting. And I thought Mark, who's famous as the mentor to millions with his Chicken Soup for the Soul series, had wisdom that could really, really help people in times like these.
Absolutely sure you're right. How did you two meet? I'm going to come to Mark in a moment, but I'm fascinated. How did you two actually come to get to know one another?
Well, it is a story. I was giving a talk in Dubai, and somebody that I didn't know before, although he's since become a really good friend, said, "You and Mark Victor Hanson have to meet, and I'm going to arrange it." And I had this attitude that this man was so famous and important that I'd have nothing to say to him. But nevertheless, my friend said, "You got to do it." So I screwed up my courage and I made this phone call and discovered something that people wouldn't know about Mark. He's the easiest person to talk with in the world, and he shares wisdom. As far as I can tell, as his biographer, he exists to help other people. So that's how we got to know each other.
Fabulous. Mark, your biography, it's something that's very special, isn't it? Somebody writing your life story.
It is beyond special.
So is this your first biography, or have other people written biographies about you?
It is my first, and because Mitzi honored me by doing this, because she's a great biographer. She did one on her father, who started the Sheraton hotel chain, one on her husband, who does only 22 million chickens a week at the Perdue farm. So they're just a little business with 20,000 employees. So she might make it and be able to buy lunch next time I'm with her. But we became fast friends, like she said. My close friend at the time, Brad Rodderin, became now her close friend. When I looked at Google, here's what blew my mind, Gina, is that 1 in 100 million people have a biography written about them. So I thought, oh my gosh, I've always felt really good about my life, other than when I wanted to kill myself after losing $2 million, as a biography said back in 1974. I thought I was human trash at the time, but I've since taken a lot of people out of the depths of despair into prosperity, happiness, wholeness, full love, and being fully functioning, self-actualizing, no-limit human beings, which has been my goal.
Well, certainly I know that you've achieved that for many. I read your book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, many, many years ago. It was one of the first of the self-development books that I read. And the principles are very much principles I live by. So, from my point of view, you fully achieved that. I want to talk about the biography itself. You described at the beginning of it that it's a warts and all story, that you've not prettied it up. Why was it so important that it should be truly authentic?
I figure if it's really going to help people, it's got to be as honest as can be. And one of the things about Mark, he has had failures. He's had really tough times. There was a time when he was even wondering if he belonged on this earth or should end it. And I figure other people who are going through tough times, it's going to help them more to know that Mark is human and he's had tough times. But among the biggest things that I learned from writing this biography is every failure that he had propelled him to greater successes. He learned from his failures. And something else, I may be one of the few people who knows, when I finished writing the book, I sent it to him just in case there were any corrections. Maybe I'd gotten a date wrong or something. I had written all these things that, were about his failures, warts and all. Mark Victor Hansen did not make one single correction in the whole book. He didn't change a comma. I would think that for most people, the temptation to soften the failure parts would be extreme. But no, Mark shared my view that let's have the real story that can encourage real people who are also going through tough times.
I think that's such a powerful thing to do. One of the things that struck me about your original book and also the biography is the talk about letting go of your ego. I always talk about leaving it at home underneath your pillow with your pajamas or your nightie, because it's not really much use when you're trying to actually achieve something. So we're going to finish in just a moment. Mark, would you like to leave us with a final comment about the biography and why you didn't change a thing?
Well, first of all, Mitzi has become not only a good friend, but a phenomenal friend and an ally. And she is the wisest, most insightful, most comprehensively together woman other than my wife that I know on the planet. And I got to say, on our behalf, other than when we're each traveling internationally and around the world or doing work in a seminar or on a podcast or an interview, she has always been available. We've probably talked almost every day since befriending one another. And the smorgasbord of Danish descent, right? And we created that word, I guess, of eclectic wisdom that she is encased in this extraordinary being called Mitzi. We are so aligned in our thinking about a multitudinous, she is a great polymath. I hope you know that term. Good. People, you can go look it up, because Mitzi and I believe you got to learn at least 1 to 10 words a day for the rest of your life.
Well, for those of you that are watching this, I can thoroughly recommend it. I've read the biography. I've learned so much about Mark Victor Hansen, an amazing man. And through the book, also learned a lot about Mitzi Perdue, who is an amazing woman. Available on Amazon. Don't delay. Go and get it.